hours.
Hi, everybody.
We're getting there. Oh, we are live. Hey. And we got a Blues game tonight. So I got my Blues jersey on. So hopefully we will get to it doesn't start till 8:30, and I'm so old I won't see the end of the game tonight. I can't stay up that late anymore. I get up too early. Let's see here. Hit this. Let's see. Facebook post. Gosh, I hit so many buttons. Okay, there's that. And then this. All right. I think we're almost there. And then notes. And we're good. And it happens every time. As soon as I go live, I feel like I have to sneeze. Every single time. I have a condition. There's a live sneeze-itis or something. It's every time. It's especially on Sunday mornings when I record the Patreon show. Every time I open the mic, I feel like I have to sneeze. And it just happened to me again right there. It's
no.
Oh, bad. Okay. Let's see here. So we're on episode 2686. Oh, this is for Monday. I think Monday's May the 4th. Let me check. I think it is. I can't believe it's already May. Let's see.
I think it's 5th, right?
Is it? Oh, it's Cinco de Mayo.
That's
that's going to be a mess. How am I going to get to Cinco de Mayo? Because we record 2 shows on Mondays.
Uh-oh.
That's going to be a challenge. We might have
You're in a predicament.
Cinco de Mayo. We might have to record. What's up? Scott's in here. We might have to record on Tuesday, so I can go get my fajitas on Monday. We'll figure it out. All right, here we go. 2686. I know Scott just had Raising Cane's, and he said he was the oldest man in the place because it's a college. Because he lives in a college town.
I know it's popular at UNC where I used to work.
It is. The kids love it. And I love it.
It's good.
I drink Taco Bell, so I can't talk. Let's see. Welcome to episode 2686 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. And you know what? It's one of my favorite days of the year. Yes, this is the day where if you go to Taco Bell, I mean, this is what you're supposed to do, right? I mean, if you want to go classy, you go to El Azteca, either in, I think it's La Azteca up there. It's El Azteca here in St. Louis. It's Cinco de Mayo, folks. Go get your fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, and have a margarita, but be careful with that driving afterwards, but have fun today. Cinco de Mayo. But today we're having a great trip report to get us started, and we're headed down to a state that we have a remarkable amount of Be Our Guest podcast lizards, both Gamecocks and Tigers, Clemson and South Carolina. And you'll find out where our guest falls on that spectrum, that continuum. We're talking to listener Adrial today. Adrial, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Glad to have you. So, first of all, happy Cinco. Do you have a favorite? First of all, are you a Mexican food aficionado?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And mango margarita. I'm very much looking forward to this.
Stop. That's so I know.
We have a really great restaurant here in upstate South Carolina that's family run, and they're so good. So that's where I'm going to be spending my Cinco de Mayo.
That's right. You go to the best places of the family run Mexican restaurants, like usually in a strip mall, nothing fancy, just the shingle out there. It's the best place ever. It's like forever it was my Las Fuentes, and now it's El Azteca because we moved years back. So Clemson, South Carolina, where do you fall? Because you're down in South Carolina. What side of the fence you on there?
Definitely USC.
Oof, sorry, Mike Bankhead. But Ben laughing, you're like, hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, definitely USC. That's where I got my undergrad.
Nice. All right. So today we're going to have a good time talking about your trip that you just got back from. And I can't wait to discuss this. And we got, a lot of stuff that we've never talked about here on the podcast before. Amazingly enough, in our 18th year of podcasting, still new things we can discover down at Walt Disney World. But first of all, give us a little background on your Disney history. Like, where did it start for you? Was it something that Disney's a big thing in your family? Is it just you, or what's your backstory?
Oh no, we're all definitely Disney adults. And there's some of us who are more Disney. We're all grown now, but some of us are more Disney adults than others, but we're still pretty equally yoked. And so I grew up with like my parents and my two sisters. I'm one of three. Math was never my specialty. And like,
it's a continuum. You never know.
I mean, you master everything too early in life, then life is boring. But so we just grew up with a lot of Disney, and I finally got to do my first trip to Disney in 2001, which feels so long ago now. And I got to go pretty regularly. I used to do First Robotics, and back in the early 2000s.
Okay, do you want to hear? So I gotta stop you.
Yeah, go for it.
I taught First Robotics.
No,
in 2001, it's actually 2002. I taught First Robotics at Space Camp.
Did you go to Orlando because that's where the competition used to be. Now it's in Houston, I believe, because my dad still does First Robotics.
No, I taught teachers down at Space Camp. I taught First Robotics to teachers as a professional development opportunity at Space Camp, so they could go back to their school districts and then teach their teachers at their school districts how to incorporate First Robotics into their science curriculum. But yeah, gosh, yeah, programming those little bricks and the little yellow brick, and then you put everything at the pinchers and the balls, and oh my gosh, that was my life.
Yes. I did it for years. Like my dad started a team in '99, and then when I got to high school, I joined his team, and I did the chairman's award, so I did like the PR kind of stuff. But the nice thing was, because I did PR, I would come in for about a day or two and talk with the judges and give our presentations. But then when they had the rest of the competitions, I would skive off with my mom and sisters and go to Disney World.
See, I mean, all I say is SMART, smart. How do you make it work? You go down to Orlando.
I was so disappointed when they moved it to Houston. Nothing against Houston, but there was no way to like sneak off to Disney World anymore. So, but by that point I had graduated anyway, so it all evened out. And so then had a bit of a gap where I didn't go to Disney for a while, and then was able to start going again a little bit in 2018, 2019, 2021, 2022. And then we didn't go for a little bit because we had an illness in the family. And so we were able to go this time as a celebration because my mom actually beat cancer for the second time, and her cancer went into remission. So we decided to take a family trip to Disney World to celebrate.
That's awesome. So I can't wait to get in to hear the story of like how this trip came together. But one more thing before we kind of dive into this. So how do you guys kind of like in your everyday life, like around, like your chats that you have, like text messages and stuff like that? I mean, is Disney something you guys talk about? Like, I mean, do you guys always go see the Disney movies? Like, or personally for yourself? I mean, because you guys, you're kind of spread out. But I mean, do you guys like, how connected are you? Like, you Disney Plus specials, stuff like that?
Yeah. No, definitely. And my youngest sister, she and I are definitely, I mean, she knows more than I do. Like, she's the one that I'm like, catch me up, because I apparently have missed something. Like, I had to text her at Disney World and be like, hey, there's some kind of character here and I don't know who it is. And she was like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But we do, like, we go see the movies. We all have Disney Plus, do the specials. I have 2 little nephews now. So it's kind of fun for me because it gives me a greater excuse to be a Disney nut, because it's for the children.
And that's best. I mean, it is, because you get to pass on all of your, I mean, I do this for a living and I still call it useless knowledge. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I can tax deduct a lot of my stuff because I do this for a living, but it's still useless knowledge. Most of it, you get to tell,
that's what wins you Jeopardy though.
Yeah, but I'm not getting on Jeopardy. That ship is flown, but it is fun. I mean, life's about being fun, and it's about getting the little kids jazzed, and
and
we're not going to tell the story of me taking my nephew on a tornado chasing thing on Good Friday a few years back. We're not going to tell that story. I told you that in the pre-show. We're not doing that. But it was good. Exactly. We do in the Midwest, but we didn't get so close to home that day. Okay, so we're not talking. All right, so but let's talk about this trip. So you had this trip that just took place. I mean, just very recently,
Yeah.
but it was to celebrate this awesome milestone for your mom, overcoming cancer for second time.
Yep.
So how did you guys decide? Like when did the genesis of this come around? Like around the dinner table, or like was it just time? And was your mom like, I'm starting to feel better, let's try something like this? What was the story?
Yeah, that's a good question. So her cancer came back last summer. So it was 8 months of just battling this thing. Got to give so much credit to the physicians and everyone here in the hospital system. And mom had said, like, man, if I feel better, I really want to go to Disney World. And we're like, yeah, fingers crossed, say a prayer, like that. We hope we can do that. So in March, actually, like the week of my birthday, best birthday present ever, she got the news that she was in the all clear, and she was doing much better. They're able to pull back on the immunotherapy and chemotherapy. So she was starting to bounce back and feel like herself. So dad was like, hey, are you ready to take that trip to Disney? And she's like, yeah, I am. So he decided he wanted to go this past week because that's the 40th anniversary of when he proposed to my mom.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah, I know.
See, and who says romance dies after the first year of marriage? Come on.
I know. So like, so he purposely picked last week because the 22nd, April 22nd was when he proposed to my mom 40 years ago. And so we only had about 3 weeks to plan this thing, which added a bit of a hurdle because, ideally you like to have a little bit more time to get your different reservations and plan out your day. But we were able to do it. And you were a big part of helping us with that too.
Well, I mean, I appreciated that I got to help you with it. And again, this trip happened 2 weeks ago as you're hearing this show. So this is like, I know sometimes you hear these podcasts are like, oh, this trip was 9 months ago because of scheduling. We had a last minute cancellation. I asked Adrial if she could come on the show yesterday, and boom, we're recording it today. So this is fresh, hot off the presses. So we're getting a really good right now trip report. So I appreciate this. So, I mean, you're right. A lot of the fun of a Disney trip's the anticipation, the countdown, all that stuff. But I mean, there's also the other side of it. Like, you didn't have to wait forever to go on the trip. But did you find, as a Disney fan, what were the challenges to the last minute going down? Like you say, I mean, scheduling ADRs. You didn't do a lot of ADRs, lightning lanes. Was there, what advice would you give for folks maybe that you learned from this experience?
The sooner you can schedule that lightning lane, the better. And I personally advise having a map, because when you do it, you can, the system will automatically generate based on, your day, where you are in the parks, what ride you want to do. But it's not always in the best, I don't know, cohesive pattern, I should say. Like sometimes they can have you on one side of Magic Kingdom and then run to the other side of Magic Kingdom. And when that happens, you can modify it and you can change certain times for your rides. So that really helped to like have a map and be like, okay, these two rides are close to each other. I can change this one and move it up an hour so that these two rides are relatively close and we're not having to panic and book it across the park. And that made a huge difference. So I definitely recommend that. And the sooner you can book to get the ideal times and kind of organize your schedule, the so much smoother it's going to be, because then you're not having to pick around what other people have already, the time slots they've already chosen. You can better fit your schedule together.
It's a great point. Now, let me ask you this. Like, did your mom have, because, she's just getting over cancer, having all this, she's gone through this battle. Was stamina an issue? Because, it's already warm down there in Central Florida. A lot of people have a hard time this time of year. How was that for her?
She ran us into the ground. This is the most energetic I have seen her. I told her, I was like, Mom, you've just had the wrong motivation. We just need to take you to Disney World more often. Because there were times where I'm like, I'm going to sit in the shade, and she, was ready to go bounce off to another ride or another show. And I'm like, cool, give me a minute.
Good for her. You know what, too? I mean,
I'm proud of her, though.
I am too. And I've heard this so many times, for folks that are going through battles like this, and for folks that are, trying to lose weight, just simple things. But, putting a Disney trip out there is like a carrot.
Yeah.
to say, if I can get through this, if I can stick to this plan for 9 months, for a year, if I can just, make it through this tough time, to have a Disney trip at the other end, is the kind of the apple or the piece of candy there. It does kind of give you like something to look forward to in those dark days. Which,
It does.
It's a motivator a lot of times, which I'm so glad that you got to do this. So let's dive in. So you guys stayed at the Boardwalk. You know what? I think I'm getting ready to book my night before the cruise tonight at the Boardwalk. I'm excited. So what'd you think?
Love that hotel. I love that hotel. This is the second time we stayed there. Before, we've been in Port Orleans Riverside and the Dolphin and Swan, which we also equally love the Dolphin and Swan. But I think the Boardwalk edges everybody out just a little bit ahead. Because it's so close to Epcot, which is our favorite park, and you can walk over there. You can just go downstairs to the Boardwalk area, go to the Boardwalk Deli, get something to eat, go get ice cream. There's a little margarita stand, and it's just nice, And they have like a little green area for kids. They have the different shows they'll do on the Boardwalk. So I just really enjoy that.
I'm sold, and it's got a great pool.
Yeah, it does.
It's a nice pool. I prefer the old scary clown, which is weird. Why do I prefer that old scary clown? That clown is weird. I'm weird.
It's all good. And like one time we stayed there at Christmas time, which I personally wouldn't always say go to Disney at Christmas time because it's kind of bonkers in the parks. But Boardwalk did such a beautiful job with decorating the hotel, and they had all these great like snacks and specialty eggnog drinks out, and I kind of missed that this time. I was like, I could really go for that eggnog concoction they had last time.
You know what? There's going to be another Christmas here in about 7 months. You just have to go this year. You just have
I
to.
hear it comes around every year.
I do too. You know what? I mean, it'll be around here in about 7 or 8 months before you even know it. You know what? You get a sunburn on your nose, and next thing you know, the frost will be on the pumpkin. So
true.
It'll happen soon. So, and guess what? Disney will start decorating for Christmas in like August. So you'll be set.
Yeah.
Just how it works. Now, here's what I love though, and this is you kicked off the vacation in a very cool way. Staying on, Boardwalk, love it, and kind of celebratory dinner for your mom right there to kick off Trattoria Al Forno. This restaurant does not get enough love, which is fine with me because you can usually get an ADR here, and I love this place. The lasagna there, let's kiss.
The gnocchi is so good too.
What is? Sorry,
gnocchi.
I don't. What's that? I don't know.
Okay. Well, it looks like little dumplings that has mushrooms and cheese.
Okay, see, I
am not the person to be describing that.
I'm so simple, like lasagna. You know what I'm saying? Like, super, like anybody knows what lasagna is, but the lasagna there looks like a flower, like a rose or something. It comes out all fancy looking, but it tastes good.
Yeah. And the gnocchi to me was just like comfort food. It was Italian comfort food.
Hey, I'm in. And then there was a good cake you had that you enjoyed.
Yeah. So one thing you can do, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners already know too, but you can, when you make a dining reservation, you can also at some places check if you would like to have a cake and to celebrate an occasion. And you can usually get like either a plain cake, one that says congratulations, or one that says happy birthday. And they have it in dark chocolate flavor, milk chocolate, or white chocolate. And because it was for my mom, I picked milk chocolate. Otherwise, I would have gone wholeheartedly for dark chocolate. But I got her one that said congratulations. It's about $40, but it's a big cake. And so they brought out the cake. We had a really great waiter. And it turns out his dad had survived cancer. So he was really just enjoying the moment with us. And so he brought out the cake, and it's a Mickey Mouse cake. It has, of course, chocolate cake, ganache, and mousse on top, and like candy ears and candy tail. And it was very cute and very good.
Well, considering if you go like 2 doors down to the cake bake shop, it's like $26 for a slice.
Oh my gosh!
So hey, it's not bad. I think I'm agitating all the people who are the cake bake shop people because I'm so mad that it's not ESPN. I'm just kidding. That's just.
I remember that place.
Never going to let off on that. You know what? I need my ESPN back. I don't care.
I remember that place.
So good.
Yeah.
It had TVs in the bathrooms. Okay,
that I did not know. That's fantastic. You don't miss a thing.
You never missed a point. It's amazing. Never missed a play.
You
Anyway,
never miss when USC beats Clemson. I love it.
or Mizzou beat Kansas. I
Or
mean,
Purdue.
no, yeah,
Purdue beats IU.
exactly. We could go here. We could rivalry weekend, baby, on the Be Our Guest podcast. Okay, so one other thing. So you were there with your mom and your dad, correct?
Yeah, sadly, my two younger sisters couldn't make it because of family and work responsibilities, which was really disappointing. But that's just unfortunately how it played out.
But you did have another guest with you, and I want
Yeah.
you to introduce our listeners to Jolie.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get her on camera. She's laying down on the floor.
Okay, because we're an audio podcast for 95% of
Perfect.
the people that are going to hear the show. The video, just very few people. But tell us about Jolie.
Okay, so I feel like I also laid some intrigue by saying she's laying on the floor. So Jolie is a.
I didn't even think about that. For our audio podcast listeners, are like, what?
What is happening? So Jolie is my seeing eye dog. So she is a yellow Labrador. She's got a little bit of golden retriever in her. Great grandpa was a golden. And she got to come with us to Disney World. She's guide dog number 2 who's been to Disney World. The first being her predecessor, who is now just my dog, who's a yellow lab named Daniel. So Daniel got to stay with my sister, which was really helpful. And he loves her and she loves him. And Jolie came with us on the trip to Disney, her first trip.
So I find this, because I'm a huge dog guy, but I'm in love with Riley, Paige's dog that is now. I hope Paige never hears this. My dog. I love that dog. I'm never giving that dog back. We'll have to fight. It would be ugly because I get anxiety when I'm separated from Riley at this point in my life. But I know that, that Jolie has a job to do, right? I mean, she's your service animal. She's your seeing eye dog. But what is that relationship as far as like travel and navigating Walt Disney World? Because I mean, it's a lot of walking. It's a lot of, so many people and new places. I mean, it's got to be a challenge for Jolie.
I have to tell you, I did not take her to Magic Kingdom. She hung back because I knew, like, to me, Magic Kingdom tends to be always the most chaotic park because you have so many families and young children, and it's pretty full, and there's a lot to do in there. So I let her hang back from Magic Kingdom, which wound up being a really good idea because our Pirates of the Caribbean ride broke down and we all had to like scramble out of the boats, but it was awesome. But she does phenomenal job. So she goes with me on airplanes. She just takes a nap whenever we are on an airplane. She does a great job in airports, going down, coming with me to work, and wherever I need her to go, she does a wonderful job. So she's from, I believe there are about 13 guide dog schools in America. Someone is welcome to fact check me on that one. But she is from the Seeing Eye in New Jersey, and they've always done a phenomenal job. I've had 3 dogs with them. Zubin, a German Shepherd, Daniel, my yellow lab, and now Miss Jolie, my lab Golden Cross, who's mostly lab. And I mean, she doesn't bark. She's not aggressive. She's very on target and very focused when she works. And you can feel, like, I don't know so, they wear a harness when they're working, and that's what tells them they're working is by the harness. And when she's in harness, she has a pull that she does that I can feel through the harness. And she's just so on top of it. You can just feel her good pull, her good pace, and that she is focused on getting around safely. And listening to my commands. Because we're a partnership, right? She sees where she's going because I can't. And I tell her where to go. So I memorize a lot of the routes. And after a while, if you do a route long enough, like going to work, she'll have it memorized as well. But it's always important to still give the commands and the affirmations just to keep that bond and to keep that focus going.
That is so cool that you guys are a team like that. I mean, that just amazes me that an animal like that can learn and that you guys can become a team and just, because think about it. I mean, just a rookie person going through Epcot or the studios. Yeah. I'm just thinking of my first time at Walt Disney World. I couldn't navigate it. I was so lost, and it was just amazing. And to do that, I'm just in awe. That's amazing.
You want to know something funny though? Is every time I go to Animal Kingdom with one of my dogs, I always set off the howler monkeys. I don't know, They'll be quiet, and then I'll walk past their enclosure, and they all go off, and it's like, hey.
That's awesome. I love
so, monkey.
Like, okay, I'm just curious about this. So like if you go on an attraction, does Jolie stay? Is there a spot for Jolie, or does Jolie sometimes go on the I don't even know.
It depends. It really depends. So obviously roller coasters, nope.
Thankfully, I wouldn't expect. I don't even Guardians, no, because I'm not even going on that thing.
I couldn't even get on that ride. Like that one was booked. That's again my lightning lane thing. I couldn't even get on.
You bullet on that thing. You don't want to.
Okay.
No, just kidding. I don't.
No. I mean, I feel like Everest was amped up since I last rode it.
Yeah, I feel like you go upside down on that thing every time. I ride it once every few years, and I'm like, I swear we just went upside down, but we went backwards.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yep. No, when I rode it this time, I was like, okay, I know I'm a little bit older than the last time I was here, but I swear this is longer and faster than I remember.
Exactly what I say, and I'm like, is he just like, am I getting that old? That this thing went 192 miles an hour and we went upside down 4 times? I'm like, no, it doesn't do that. But yeah, me too.
Yeah. But but thankfully, like my dad's not a big roller coaster person. So he and Jolie will hang out, and mom and my sisters and I will do the roller coasters. But when we do like Living on the Land or the Grand Fiesta, like some of the calmer boat rides, then they'll come. So that's also kind of why I was glad that she wasn't on the Pirates of the Caribbean with us, because the cast members had to come out in waders and like help people get out of the boats and push the boats.
Gosh.
It was fun. Like that's one of the most fun times I've ever had.
You're a true Disney fan.
I really am. But I was thinking, like, I almost fell in the water trying to get out from the boat back onto the boarding dock. And by the way, I was so jealous that there were people who were further along the ride that got off on this rock island, and they got to see more backstage. And I'm like, my boat's so lame. But but I was just thinking, like, no, she probably could have scaled it and just gone clean from the boat back onto the boarding dock. But yeah, no, I almost fell in, but it's fine. But I was grateful that she wasn't there for that one. But normally she could have been on that ride, just like the calmer boat rides. I would not advise, though, Frozen Ever After with a guide dog. I made that mistake with Daniel several years ago, and it's too loud and too much happening at one time, and it made him nervous. He didn't do anything bad, but I could tell he was stressing on that ride, and I don't think he's ever fully forgiven Olaf. And so we just, so if you have a guide dog out there, skip that one. But Living on the Land is good. Grand Fiesta is good. Pirates are good. Any kind of little calm, you can usually finagle. But I would also say, like, if you have a guide dog and you're planning to go to Disney, or really any service dog, call the institution that trained your dog to get their advice. So, like, for instance, with Jolie, like, I decided not to take her to Magic Kingdom, and that was also partly on advice from the Seeing Eye, because they raised some very good points about the crowds and how things aren't always there aren't always clear walking paths, and having all these different stresses and noises and heat could be a little much on the dog. And that made perfect sense. And I'm glad she didn't come for that day. But she went with us everywhere else. So like Disney Springs, Epcot, Animal Kingdom. And, but yeah, anyway, I digress. Basically, my number one advice is always talk to your institution, because most likely you're not the first person to ask that question, and they will have had experience and can give advice. And if not, they know your dogs, and they can give you advice on a personal level too.
I love that. I love that. So last question though, like, as far as like when you get there to the boardwalk and making sure Jolie has a comfortable stay, do you bring like all your own stuff, or do they supply any kind of stuff for Jolie, like a little place for her to eat and drink, or how's that work?
No, but funny enough, the Lowe's Hotel at Universal did years ago for Daniel.
Yeah, I think that they can. I think they do at some of the hotels. I don't know, like pet friendly hotels. I know there's something like a little entrance for the regular dogs, like I don't think Boardwalk is technically a pet hotel, but service animals are allowed everywhere. So
yeah, exactly. And I mean, and also, like, I'm fortunate too. So the Seeing Eye gives you an official identification card. So I always have that means to like prove like she's had this extensive training. And I always carry her rabies certificate with me, just in case anyone ever asked to see it.
Yeah, and I called ahead and told them too, and I said, "Hey, I said before you guys got there, I said, by the way, Jolie is coming to this reservation. Jolie's a dog.
Yes.
Mark that on the reservation just when there's space there, so you guys know.
And it's nice too, because like when you do the self check-in, you can also put down like, do you have any requests? And so for mine, I was like, if we could please be on the ground floor, so it's easier to get her out to go to the bathroom versus having to take the elevator and go all the way down and go through the hallways. And so that was really helpful to have that option too. And like, they were really nice at the hotel.
That's awesome. But okay, so I could talk about dogs all day, so we'll stop.
Me too.
Okay, so let's talk. But again, I think everybody's curious about that because we see this in the parks and it's super interesting. So let's talk about your day at Epcot. So you had lunch at Tepanito when you got there, but talk about what highlights of the attractions besides Living with the Land, because that's my favorite.
Oh, I love that one.
Me too.
Love that one. And I may have gone and bought those like little plants you can get in the little tiny glass jars, and I currently have them right now on my dresser under grow lights, trying to get them to grow and not die because of the ride. It really is. And like, but yeah, we did Living on the Land. That was fun. We did Spaceship Earth, which is, for me, that's always a classic. Like, I have to do. That was one of the rides I loved when I was 14 on our first Disney trip. And so for me, that's always an important one to make sure I check off. And we did the Ratatouille ride.
What'd you think of that? Because it's obviously newer. I mean, do you think that Disney's moving in the right direction with that? I mean, new, kind of dark ride experience.
I mean, I loved it because it was inside and it was hot outside.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was nice and cool.
I don't know. It doesn't capture my imagination like some of the other rides do, unfortunately, but it's still a good ride. And I think though, like if you have a kid with you or someone a bit younger and smaller, it would probably be so fun and so cool. Because I do like how they when they open the oven door, you feel the heat. When you get hit with the mop, you feel the splash of water. So I love that they have that interaction there for you. But this just could be, because I'm older now, I'm not a kid, that it's like, oh, it was fun.
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather go on the Frozen ride.
Nice. But just
not with Jolie.
I heard you. You'll have something to think about. Well, I mean, not South Carolina, because you don't get a ton of snow. I mean, because every time you see a snowman, you'd be like, but there you go.
Yeah. So, but Daniel, I did live in Indiana for a while. So
no.
Yeah, so snowmen were real. Snowmen were real.
Yeah, that's not good. So Tepanito, I mean,
Mhm.
I think it's fun. Did it meet your expectations there for lunch?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. You sit at a communal table, so you sit with people that you don't necessarily know. And I guess it really depends on who you're sitting with. I fortunately was with a good table, and I had my family with me, so it wasn't a bad thing. But I could also see those being awkward. But I feel like as long as you're just yourself and you're friendly and nice, then it should ebb away any awkward feelings.
I love just like the communal seating, like in Beer Garden and Tepanito. But I mean, it's the other people that are probably like, God, this is awkward, man. That guy. He's about me. I'm just like, this is fun,
I know. I feel like that's it right there, because like I tend to be more of an extrovert, right? So I have no problem being like, hey, how you enjoying Disney? How's it going? But I feel like if you were a more introverted person, you would hate this.
Oh yeah, so, totally. Yeah.
But the food is really good.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's kind of like fajitas and stuff. Really, it's just rice and meats and it's up. So, all right, let's talk Animal Kingdom. So you guys go over there, and what highlights for that park?
Well, we loved watching the mama gorillas with their babies. Like one of the mom gorillas had her little baby on her lap, and they were like face to face and just interacting. That was fun. And we saw the Festival of the Lion King, which those acrobats are amazing in that show.
Underrated too. You never hear about it.
No, you don't. You really don't. And they do such a good job. And the music was good. And I mean, it's the Lion King, of course it's good. But and what's fun with the Magic Bands, this Magic Band Plus now, like they're so interactive with the shows, including that one. So your Magic Band Plus is going off and doing different colors or vibrating. But yeah, that was a really good show. And I personally enjoyed the Feathered Friends in Flight, the bird show they have, because those birds to me are just really incredible. And I just love bird watching, period. And what else? Everest was like I said earlier, I feel like it's gotten faster and longer, but that could also just be 3 years older since last time I was there. But that was really fun. And we spent most of our time in Africa, actually, the safari. If you have never done the safari, you got to do the safari because you can see so many cool animals.
The safari is why to me, the safari is why Animal Kingdom Park is there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's basically the essence of Animal Kingdom Park. Everything else is just kind of
Mhm.
around it, right? The safari, because you can see, I mean, I'm there to see the giraffes. Like, that's my
Yeah.
favorite thing to see. Just because a lot of times they're right up next to the vehicle.
Mhm.
And that's kind of my favorite animal. I mean, I'm tall, so I kind of always like giraffes, but yeah. And you mentioned that the bird show. Those birds are so well trained there. I swear they might be drones. They might be drones because I don't know how they get those birds to be so well trained. It's crazy.
I don't either. It's amazing.
Great. I couldn't get my kids to walk down the hall like in a straight line. Those birds do all that other stuff. I'm like, I have a master's degree in education. I cannot even get my kids to walk a straight line down the hall. And these birds, can tap dance. It's crazy.
I know. I mean, I was treated to Old MacDonald had a little farm by a parrot, and I was like, this makes me so happy. And
what am I doing wrong?
And then I can't remember what it's called, but I just been calling it the aviary, but it's where they have the different birds. They have the netting around and you can walk through. I love that area too.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever made to St. Louis? We have a big one of those at ours.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we have one from the 1904 World's Fair still here that you can go and you get little things of nectar. And I mean, if you don't like birds, it's your worst nightmare, right? Because you go thing of nectar, it's like you're all on you, but if you like birds, it's kind of cool.
You can do that at the Indianapolis Zoo too, because I've done that, and it's so cool when you feed them the nectar and they'll land. Like sometimes they'll get in a line and go down your arm, and when one goes to the cup and sips, flies away, the little line shuffles down your arm.
Yeah, it's either your dream or your worst nightmare, depending on how you feel about birds.
Don't watch Hitchcock.
They're coming at you, man. It's like Mike, if you have an armful of tacos, I'm just mad. Here I come. So the next morning, guys, and I love it. You went to Disney Springs in the morning. Best time to go, man. At night, it's a crazy house. So how was that over Disney Springs?
It was good. We probably spent the least amount of time over there because we were pretty focused on getting to Gideon's and to the World Store. So we got in line, got into Gideon's. We've never been to Gideon, so I was really excited because I've heard so many people rave about the cookies and coffees there, and it does live up to the hype. And I, being a chocoholic, I got the triple chocolate cookie, which was really good. And yes, and the pistachio toffee chocolate chip cookie. And right now they got like a limited offering on coconut cream cold brew, which was really good, I thought. Pairs nicely with a triple chocolate cookie.
I don't drink coffee. I think I'm lucky because my daughter drinks Mallory. She goes to a place called Seven Brew, and I'm like, stop going there. Like, it's expensive. Like, just you got that little Keurig thing, Christmas, make one at home. Like,
it's not the same.
Stop going there. Like, you work all the time to spend all your money going to you wouldn't have to work as much if you stopped going through that Seven Brew place. But
you know what I used to teach for a while, and sometimes on Fridays, especially if I had a pretty challenging semester, I would go to Starbucks like in the morning, just walk in and be like, I don't care what you guys do today. I've got my grande iced coffee. We're going to tackle this.
I hear you. It still is Coke Zero. Just like it's a lot cheaper. So you guys did a little Disney Springs, caffeinated and chocolated, or just made up a word.
Got a sugar high, caffeine high. Yep.
So you're hooked up there, and so then you decide we're taking on the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
And Jolie's chilling out at the hotel.
Yeah, so we came back.
Winning at life there, by the way. But go ahead. How'd the Magic Kingdom go?
It went really well. So the first ride we did was the Tiana Bayou Adventure, which we all really liked. I haven't
done it. I still haven't because I was only down there when it was a virtual queue and it was super cold during marathon weekend. I was like,
yeah. I mean, I to be fair, like I never did Splash Mountain whenever we went during the colder months because I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But it was nice and hot, and we really wanted to see that ride. And I mean, may Splash Mountain rest in peace. Always hold a special place, but I really like what they did with the Tiana Bayou adventure.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm going to like it. It's a matter of like, I just got to get in the park when I'm again,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm get off my lawn. Like, I'm just going to yell at the clouds. Like, but I just don't like getting wet like anymore,
Yeah.
like, and then be in the park for like hours after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I had a chance to do this at Disneyland, but
Mhm.
again, I was going to be in the park for like another 4 or 5 hours. And at Disneyland, because people say, oh, you get a lot more wet at Disneyland. I was watching the people get off the thing. They might have just as well swam in the rivers of America. Like,
Really?
oh my God, they look like they went scuba diving.
Oh my gosh.
They were drenched. I'm like, pass. Because I was getting ready to get in line. I'm like, oh, I can do this. And then I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, it's not wet. I mean, they're like, their hats were drenched. I mean, they were just dripping. I'm
Oh
like,
no.
Thank you. Like, I mean, I love that. Like, I like rides, but no.
We were lucky because we got like the last row on the, I don't know, canoe thing, and so we barely got wet. But the people ahead of us, it's one of those where you want to be like, thanks, people ahead of us, you took all the water.
They took the
Love you.
The human shields.
The human shields, exactly. So but that was a happy accident because you don't get to pick where you sit. They were just like, oh, you guys sit on this row, and we're like, sweet, done.
I love it. One of the other things I see in your notes that you did, and I love this because we haven't talked about this in forever either. Tradition, I think a lot of folks have. You got a Christmas ornament there, even though it wasn't Christmas time. But I mean, if it's your annual trip or every couple of years, that's a great souvenir to be. So did you get it from the old Christmas shop there in Liberty Square?
Yes. Yep. That's a really nice shop. That's one of our favorites. So like every time we go to Magic Kingdom, we stop off in there and get more ornaments. And I walked out with like 3 different ones, I think.
I just love the smell of that shop. Like walk in there and it's like, oh, it's because I'm a Christmas person. I love Christmas. Yeah. And it's just like, it smells like early December.
It does. It's just like a nice, cozy, it's aptly named. It's a nice, cozy Christmas shop. Even when it's April and hot, you walk in there and you step into a new season.
Oh yeah, I agree. That and the place at Disney Springs, right? The old place over the marketplace corner. It's like I love going in there like in July when it could be 150 degrees. That makes it even better, right? The hotter it is, the more fun that experience is because of like the paradox of the two. You're like it's awesome. I love that.
Agree.
So it looks like your last day you guys spent over at Epcot, kind of you're wrapping up too. We didn't mention earlier you're doing that scavenger hunt. So you guys did that all together?
Yeah, we did. So we really enjoy plant. Like my mom and my sisters and I, we really enjoy planting. So we thought, well, this would be kind of fun. Like get to see the different plants, and give us something also to do as we go through the park. And so we did the spike pollination exploration scavenger hunt, which is only about $10 to buy it, and we did so good most of the way, but like the last 2, we were like, we cannot find this. We cannot find these plants. So may have gone on to Google and looked it up and found the last 2. Yeah.
Other people have never done that.
Never done it. Well, and you know what? We sat there and we're like, oh my gosh, we've walked past this thing like 3 times. How have we not seen this darn bee? So, so we just surreptitiously took the stickers and put them in the right spot and then went, galloping off to the store to redeem it and got a very nice Spike the Bee watering can. It's small, but he's cute and we earned him.
It's small but cute and treasured.
Yeah. I mean, we worked hard for him because there's like 4 options too it was fun, but you can get like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland or Mickey Mouse or Orange Bird or Spike the Bee. And my mom and I are like, we've been chasing this bee all over the park. We want the bee.
Exactly. I mean, because it's got, and the thing is too, it's got a story behind it now. Like that's why I love souvenirs that have that's kind of why I like running the Run Disney races, because my souvenirs a lot of times are just the medals or the whatever, the ears, but they all have a story, like people say, oh, I don't want them to get nicked up, because then now they give them to you in the plastic wrap. They used to just kind of throw them on your neck and they get kind of scratched. I'm like, I don't
Mm.
care if I get scratched because it gives them character. Like
Yeah.
to me, it doesn't matter because it's gonna go hanging on the wall. They don't have to look perfect. And like if it gets dropped, it's like, oh well, I remember I dropped that at Pop Century getting off because I fell because my legs locked up. Like there's the story,
There's
like
exactly.
klutz, so everything to me is like a story. But I love when souvenirs have like some kind of a story to them, not just like, oh, the story is I bought it and everything pop.
Yeah. You know what too? Like we were really hoping to find because for a while there they had Spike the Bee garden stakes, kind of like you can see in the gardens in the park, but they just sold out. So we're devastated, but it's okay. We'll heal. We'll try again next year. We got a game plan.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yep.
Well, but you did. Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, we got to get this in. You guys went to San Angel Inn. We did the boat ride in San Angel Inn. Perfect for Cinco today. Lunch there. The one I love this place because of the atmosphere, right? I mean, you're sitting there, you get smoke coming out of the pyramid. You got the boat going by.
Yes.
It's so dark in there. Like you can't. Again, I sound like I'm 90. I mean, like you order something, but like they just bring it out. I can't tell whether it's what it is. I just eat whatever they put in front of me. Like, it's so dark, I don't know what I'm eating.
I will say other than Disney World, probably not the safest rule of thumb, but Disney World, yeah, go for it.
Exactly. It always tastes good. It really, Mexican food for the most part, it's kind of a combination of just like 3 or 4 different things, just kind of all just interchangeable to me. I don't care. Enchiladas, burritos, whatever.
Yeah, no, it was all good. Like we each got something different, so we could sample off each other's plates. And Mom and I got the Black Magic margarita, which was it's good. Like I have to say, if you're somebody who likes a margarita but you don't want the super sugary, fruity kind, that's your ticket. Is the Black Magic margarita because it's still good. It's just not overly sweet like some can be.
I've never heard of that, but I'm definitely intrigued and definitely going to have to try that.
Yeah, apparently, according to the menu, Neil Patrick Harris created it.
Oh, okay. He always goes over to La Cava, and so that definitely that makes sense. So you guys wrapped up with a little, boardwalk, the deli there, and got ready and headed back to South Carolina. So. I mean, what a trip. So kind of as we wrap though, it's been so much fun just kind of recounting this trip from just last week. We got to, came in clutch here right at the last minute. So I sure appreciate it. But like, final thoughts as far as anything else, like any last memories or any tips you would give folks from this trip that came together. And, one more time, I'd like to say, I'm so happy for your mom that, she's doing better and, we'll continue to pray for her that this continues. And I appreciate you taking the time to educate us on this, taking your guide dog and all that, because I've always been curious. You were so kind in answering our questions. I mean, I've learned a lot today, and I mean, just, I love reliving this trip with you, but, thanks for taking the time with us, but, kind of wrap up any last thoughts on the trip.
Yeah, it was a really good trip. I'm so thankful. Like when we had our, I'm going to be corny for a minute, but when we had our last night at Epcot and we stayed for the Symphony of Us show, which is really good, I got a little choked up because I was like, this could have gone so differently with the cancer, and just so thankful to God that we were able to have this moment as a family and make these memories, because it could have gone so drastically the other way. And for all the people that have experienced the alternative, my heart just goes out for them and anyone going through cancer, because it's for the people going through it and their loved ones. It's a hard road. And but it was just a wonderful trip. And for anyone else too who may be visually impaired, I can tell you that the Disney World app, I've never been to Disneyland, so I can't tell you, but the Disney World app is pretty accessible with a screen reader. So if you're using like VoiceOver on your iPhones, again, I don't have Droid, so I can't tell you. It's pretty accessible. Every once in a while, you'll find a button that's not labeled, and the VoiceOver would just call it button. So it's one of those you have to tap and see what happens and hope it's not the red button that obliterates everything. But for the most part, it's really accessible. And the cast members were all really accessible and friendly, and a good environment for Jolie. Always talk to your guide dog school, get their advice and input, because they are the experts. And yeah, just so thankful to have had this trip, and looking forward to next time. Hopefully it won't be because of any more cancer, but looking forward to the next trip.
Hey, it'll just be to go down for Christmas to see Santa Claus.
Yeah. Oh,
I see your favorite decoration.
You know what? Like a couple of years ago, I tried my best to get a picture of my seeing eye dog Daniel with Father Christmas in England and Epcot, and was totally beat out by kids. So at some point in my life, I'm going to get one of my guide dogs pictured with Father Christmas.
That is going to happen. Well, Adrial, hey, thank you so very much. I mean, this is such an inspiring and fun way to start a week. And I'm truly blessed to have we get to have the show. We get to meet such cool people. And you are definitely an awesome person to get to meet through the show. And hope we get to cross paths at Walt Disney World here soon. That'd be an honor. I'd love it. And get to give Jolie a little scratch on the head.
I would like to say, you'll see me way before I see you. So come over and say hi. If you see a lady with brown hair and a golden Labrador, yellow Labrador.
100% will. Thanks for taking the time today. Sure appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you so much for inviting me.
All right. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite Disney destination to make amazing memories with those people, your loved ones. That's where you celebrate. So coming over this week, check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That's one extra click. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. Just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest, where we're dodging tornadoes as we speak. It's spring in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can give me a follow on the social media at beourguestmike. That's on X, Instagram, and Threads. Oh, you should see what's on the TV right now. And let's see. We also have a live show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll be on 5 places: Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and which one I'm missing? YouTube, the big one. So whichever place you like to tune in, join us, and we'll be taking your calls. So give us a call. We're going to have a new phone number, so this should be fun. So come on, join the fun. We'll be troubleshooting live during the show. So come on over, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central for the BOGP live call-in show Sunday night. And finally, join us in the clubhouse. It's our free place where we hang out 24/7. Listeners of the show, we talk life, we talk Disney. It's the Discord server, live chat, message boards, all kinds of fun. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, we're going to jump out of here and let you get to those chips and salsa and guac, and queso, and everything you're going to do tonight. So until we get back together again on a Wednesday for your listener questions, for Adrial down in South Carolina, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. That was so much fun. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I was to say, I hope it was good.
That was great. That was so good.
Good.
Steal the hearts of our podcast listeners.
I probably won't listen because I can't stand the sound of my own voice, but I really hope.
You have to listen. I don't like it either, but I usually don't listen back because I hear it the time we record, then I have to hear it when I edit, and then I'm like, after 2,800 shows, that's like
you get used to it. I hated when during COVID when I would teach and I'd have to upload videos and I'd have to kind of like you're saying, I guess, like edit it, and I'm like, oh God, why do I sound like I'm 10?
Well, you need one of.
Wait, hang on. That's right.
Not it either.
No, wait, I like the original.
Yes, no, you need one of these. So especially if you're a teacher. So you just come in one day on a Zoom call and be like, "Great welcome in German is going to be." I don't know how to speak German.
That would sound fantastic in German, actually. Guten Tag. Willkommen in Deutsch 101.
You got to get one of these mixers. You just push one button, and you're set.
I know what I want for my birthday.
Well, I'm going to edit this
All
up.
right.
And hey, it's so good to meet you. If you ever need
So
anything,
good to meet you
give me an
too.
email. Hey, take care down there.
Thanks. Bye. Be safe.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, bye, everybody. I'll see you later. Hope you had a good night. Bye.